Damn.
Damn! And that's 3 years of our lives. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for being here with us. We're very happy to be doing this show with IGN. My name is Anwar Noriega. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Wabisabi Games, and also the director of RKGK or Rakugaki. And I'm also here with the lead team of the game development. So, how about if you guys introduce yourselves as well? Go ahead, Alexis, please.
Awesome, of course. My name is Alexis, and I am the lead designer. I was basically responsible for all of the game mechanics, the player kit, the player controller, and level design. So yeah, also very excited to be here with IGN doing this commentary for the speedrun. I guess go ahead, Alex.
Yes, hello. My name is Alex. I'm the lead developer of the game. I was mostly in charge of the systems of the game. And yeah, it's very exciting to see how people are playing our game. How about you, Ayuk?
Hey, hello. My name is Ayuk. I am the lead 3D artist here at Wabisabi. And yeah, basically responsible of everything art related, from the 3D graffitis, from the set dress, and all this fun stuff. And yeah, really excited to see how people break the game.
And just with the intro, the first level is finished. So
Already gone.
already gone. So he's going really crazy fast. So how about you, Alexis? If you start commenting a little bit about the level design and how you were planning for people to actually play the game and how you see it right now.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm pleasantly surprised to see that the game is being run as we basically planned it to. Well, so far I haven't seen like that many bugs being exploited or like issues with the set dressing that they can go out of bounds and stuff like that. But yeah, like basically they are doing the same way we did, which is just spam the launch attack to skip and fly through most of the parts. Also, I really appreciate seeing how they are using the grappling hook with the little grappling spots that we put on. Instead of just going the normal route. But yeah, it is very interesting. It's not as easy as it seems, like being spamming the launch
Yeah.
attack. So that's pretty exciting. Yeah.
I cannot do that. Like yesterday, I tried to do that, but no, I cannot. I don't know. I don't know how to spam that mechanic, even
Git
though
good.
I.
Get good, please, Alex. But very quickly, I guess we can also take some time and discuss about the structure of the game. The game has a very linear structure. I don't know if you, Alex, wanna provide a little bit more information about that, but yeah, we try to make a structure that motivates players to play all the levels in the game, right? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, the levels of the game are like, well, the way they are built is like you can go through all of them and check them out. All of them are different and have different mechanics to learn and to use. So it's interesting how like this one, like the spamming. I mean, in the first game, the first levels are meant to to use those the mechanics. But as we can see here, he's like going really fast, and I'm really surprised that he's. I don't know how many times it's been, and he's already in level 3.
Yeah, it's crazy. Uh, what do you think, Ayok? Like, how much time you spent on each tiny detail of the set dressing, and he's just going like too fast. We cannot even appreciate it.
Yeah. It's just really funny how we in the 3D art team was looking to get all the details done and everything looked pretty, but then people just speedrun it and and do it really fast. I mean, it's part of the details that maybe you catch it just by looking at it and not just staring at it. But I mean, it's part of this of the game that we wanted it for the people to play it fast. So yeah, I mean, it's part of the gig. But as Alex was saying, like there are tutorial levels, but you cannot tell people how to play the game, and they just start spamming buttons, just looking at people playing, like uh, checking all the movements that Vala has, and yeah, exploring it since level 1. So it is really cool. It is really cool.
It is.
I would wonder if no, I can see that he didn't what catch it, but like during the speedruns there are some hidden things that they cannot found in the speedrun, right?
Seems like he's avoiding, or like he's keeping many secrets and collectibles and just sticking to the bare minimum
Yeah.
to progress. Which I guess, Alexis, you might wanna tell us a little bit more about how the progression system works in the game.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the interesting things that we kind of did on purpose is to limit the progression with a number of graffiti. That way, we introduce kind of a strategy layer to the speedrunning, right? Because you have to plan for each level which graffiti are most efficient to paint within the speedrun route. In order for you to finish the levels as quickly as possible, and then also not be locked out of the boss, right? So it's sort of a strategy game there where you have to count how many graffiti can I get in each level, what's the very minimum graffiti that I need. And I don't know, maybe in a previous level, like it's more worth it to get a couple of more graffitis, even if the time of the level is longer. But then later on, you can skip some, right? Or you can skip some levels altogether and don't be locked out of the progression. So I do think that adds kind of an interesting component to the speedrunning. But on the other hand, also like for a like, let's be honest, if you're trying to do an any percent speedrun, you just want to go as fast as possible, right? And not be constrained by the amount of graffiti. So, I mean, it is an interesting choice that we had to make. But I do think that it adds that level of complexity that makes it more flavorful, at least in my opinion. Like, that's why what I look for when I speedrun some games, um, just to see if it's only like skill like on the controller, or if there is kind of a strategic element to it that I need to take into consideration before finishing the game. But yeah, like I mean, for what I can see, they are painting the basically all of the graffiti, trying to get as much as possible. Maybe they're going to skip some levels in the future. I don't know, but that seems like it.
Yeah.
Especially
Really
this
interesting
level
to see this. Sorry, go ahead.
no, especially this level is like really going too fast and trying to paint all the graffiti is really difficult sometimes with all the speed.
Platforms. Very narrow.
Yeah.
But it's also interesting to see how people make a route, like as Alexius was saying, that making a route to paint the graffitis that they need to unlock the levels. So that's interesting too.
My guess is that right now, because of the levels being kind of straightforward and easy, he's collecting as many graffitis as he can in the first world. So then in the following worlds, maybe he will start skipping stuff and be more efficient. But I'm very surprised because our internal record in the studio is way longer than this, like by a long time. Like it was, I don't remember. It was like 1 hour and 40 or 1 hour and 50. I don't remember. Do you remember, guys?
No.
Yeah, I was like 150.
150, right? Yeah.
Yeah, we mostly like when we were doing the speedrun runs to get the times for the challenges. The thing is that we were playing only like the individual levels on their own without taking into consideration the graffiti, right? So that way we could focus on the individual levels, and even if we didn't get any graffiti, it didn't matter because we didn't need to progress. So that led to some really crazy times. Like for example, I remember in 1.1, our best time is like 59 seconds. But then again, we don't really need to focus on getting any graffiti, right? Because we are not playing the full game. But once you need to focus on getting the graffitis to go through the game, yeah, it's a very different reality. But it was super fun to try to break those records and exploit the game.
Totally. He's crushing it. Like he's almost finished the first chapter of the game, and
This
he's
boss,
even like,
man.
yeah, he's even like he's. I mean, it's not like crazy perfect. He's receiving some damage, and every now and then he's even like uh making some mistakes in some jumps, and still he managed to finish the game in this crazy time. So I'm so surprised.
Ness, take that.
And even with an S as a score, yeah.
There you go, World 2. Let's go.
What were the challenges, Ayuk, about like set dressing like different worlds and trying to um, create the identity for each one of them, but then at the same time uh, make them cohesive as a whole? What do you think?
Yeah, like this was a lot of work from the concept art team. But yeah, the main focus was to make each world different. Like for example, we have the first world, which is the city. We have this second world, which is the factory, and so on. We were working on these styles, these different styles of levels. But yeah, it was a lot of work with the concept art team, and basically just the 3D art team took all that work from the concept art and start dressing. I mean, the 3D the 3D pipeline is basically just a lot of time. We have a lot of talented people, but yeah, I mean, we need time to do all these assets and plan the the construction of the levels and all that stuff. But yeah, that was the main focus, making each world unique, so that also the player can identify in which world they are based on the level. And I mean, it was kind of challenging, but yeah, the concept art team made a really cool work.
Totally. Now with these levels that are starting to feel like less linear, he's already starting to skip some sections and trying to exploit mechanics. Like for example, I just saw the exploit of just getting close enough to the graffiti to just paint it, knowing that when you finish painting one of these big graffitis, Vala is relocated to a spawn point after the animation ends. So exploiting that is kind of cool. What do you think, Alexis?
Oh, yeah, that's really broken. I remember when we first like implemented that mechanic, it was severely broken. We had to fix it to the best of our abilities, but yeah, there are little parts of the game where you can basically skip the whole level. Uh, but yeah, I mean it is always really fun, right? To find those kind of skips. We in the studio are real fans of speedrunning of really old games that you have to glitch a lot, right? And take advantage of those exploits. Um, so yeah, like on one hand, I'm kind of heartbroken to put it in a way, because yeah, like that was something that it was totally unintentional on our part. But in the other hand, it is really awesome to kind of see people finding out all of those exploits that they can do. And yeah, at the end of the day, I don't know which level it is. I think it's like 5.4. But yeah, you can basically skip the whole level by using that exploit, and it saves a lot of time. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see if he uses that for this speed run.
Yeah.
This is one of the bigger levels in the game. As you might see on the HUD, this one has 44 available graffitis for the player to paint. So it's one of the ones that has most like the most amount of like secret areas and branching paths and um, yeah, it has a lot of content and people can even spend like 20-30 minutes playing this one, finding everything.
Have
So
you ever
the
found
game.
all of the graffitis? I haven't found all of them in this level at least.
That's also very interesting. Yeah, like even here in the studio, there are some people that uh hasn't get the platinum in the game, and there's still some secrets
No.
that people don't know about. Like, so this one is one of those levels for you, Alex.
Yes, this one and 5.1. I remember the first one, the first level of World 5. I blame design team for this because I try sometimes to cheat, like going into the maps and try to look at it, but now let's play it the right way and find the secrets.
Yeah.
Bit good.
It cool. Also, I mean, you've been hearing us like talking about the levels in number code, like internally in the studio for almost the entire production of the game. We didn't have names for the levels, and we just were using only the numbers. But then, as you can imagine, like the number of the levels started changing. Like when we were evaluating the overall pacing and the flow of the game, we realized about difficulty spikes and everything. So we started reshuffling levels, and it was a mess. It was a mess because we had like first you had to play like uh, 5.3 and then 5.1 and then another one from another world. We needed to reshuffle it into the world, so it was a crazy mess. And then at that point, we needed to maybe create better names for the level. So, but it's just like we couldn't avoid the fact that we called these levels by numbers for like 3 years. So it's difficult for us to change that.
Yeah.
I actually
I don't
don't
even.
know the names of the levels. Like,
Yeah, I
if
was
my
going to
life
say that.
depended on it, I couldn't tell you what is the name, the actual name of the levels.
I think only the first ones, right? Like Capital City and I don't remember the other one.
There you go. This is
Yeah,
it is
it
what it
was a
is.
lot of time using the numbers. So yeah,
It is what it is. But this is really cool. I'm seeing this one, like, and he's not even waiting for the platforms to come for painting the
Yeah,
graffiti. He's just like,
yeah. I remember that there was a bug that when you like he was trying to do that, and when you go jumping on top of the enemy, and you can like that bounce over there, and that thing that we actually fixed at the end. So you can only paint the graffiti at the end because yeah, it was like what are we doing here? But yeah, that I wasn't even trying. I haven't been trying that one. Like after all the stage is finished, you just jump over the boss and paint the graffiti. That's a really good one.
yeah. He even just died in this one, and still the time is crazy.
but it's okay. Also, jumping over the laser walls, it's a really good tactic in this boss
Yeah.
level.
So
Sometimes people just look for the hole, but it's easier just to jump the laser walls.
now that you see it, it's so obvious. But I never thought about that one in the past, to be honest.
I mean, testing these games, playing these levels like I'm not gonna say 100 times, but close to that. Yeah, you kind of find these little details, but even so, you're still surprised of some tactics.
Yeah. It's
Yeah, it's
actually
not that easy though. I gotta say, it looks like
ah
it, but you need to time it right to be able to jump on top of the lasers and escape
yeah.
them that way. So yeah, it is viable, but it's not that easy as he's making it look.
He's making it look really easy. And that's
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Chapter 2.
This level, it was the first one we made.
It was, yeah. How was the process of designing this level, Alexis, for like 100 times in pre-production before
A
getting to
freaking
this?
nightmare. That's what it was. Yeah, no, I remember this. We must have redesigned this level like 5 times, maybe even more. Um, but yeah, I mean, as you guys already said, it was the first one, so we put a lot of effort in it. And given that we were still trying to find kind of the right player controller and the right player kit, the right combination of skills and the metrics and all of that stuff. Like we have one iteration of the level, and then something didn't feel quite right. We made changes um, to the distance of the jump, the height, the speeds, and then that will change the metrics, and we will redesign the level all over again. And then I remember those damn spikes.
Oh,
They
damn.
were also a nightmare to kind of properly set up. But I mean, I'm really glad how the level turned out. I mean, even I remember at one point it was a much larger level. I guess we can say it. 3.1 and 3.2 were kind of the same level, but it was huge, right? So we split it up, and I think it turned out great. I don't know if it's just for the nostalgia factor, but 3.1 and 3.2 are my two favorite levels, and I will die on this hill saying that 3.2 is the best level in the game. Fight me.
But
Which is this one?
he just finished 3.1, like skipping all of it. Like what?
Yeah. You never saw that one before, Alex?
No, no. I was like, what? What's no?
Yeah, that level can be finished in 30 seconds.
It's crazy.
Damn.
Yeah, and it was kind of the point. I remember that I got very upset when the art team accidentally switched some surfaces and prevented the player from doing the wall jump that allowed the skip. And I was like, oh man, you just killed the best part of the level. But yeah, fortunately that was solved, and I got my wall jump back.
Wow. This one I never saw it, like from the waterfall. Nice.
Yeah, it has like a little ledge that people can step on.
But these are like really nice accidents, right? Because of the set dressing, or it was intended. I don't even know.
There are some accidents because of the set dressing, but I'm going to say that we for sure made some ledges reachable and some micro platforms on purpose to skip zones and to kind of see if people out there will discover them. So in a lot of levels, we actually went back once the set dressing was done, and I mean, this is the first time Anwar's probably hearing from about this because we did it
Yeah.
in secret. Um, but yeah, we came back to the levels once the set dressing was done, and we kind of, moved some little ledges and platforms around like the set dressing to allow the player to actually kind of step on them and skip some parts of the level or go out of bounds, because we thought that it would be really funny uh, to give that options to play to like find out and use them to skip chunks of the level and make the speedruns way more efficient and faster. So yeah, some are accidents for sure that we also didn't report on purpose. Some are accidents that we didn't even really know existed,
Yeah.
and some we placed very intentionally.
That's really cool. I didn't know that. Thanks for that. That's
Yeah.
awesome. I'm also seeing a lot that he's exploiting this jump that has kind of like the old school platformer animation that Vala gets a little bit like higher when you trigger it perfectly, and doesn't like Vala doesn't trigger the proper jump animation. And that's very interesting. I'm never sure that one, that little jump there. Like I'm not sure how to activate it, but he clearly found out a way to use it whenever he wants.
Yeah, that's another one that's actually very hard to master. Um, he's making it look easy because he's using it all over and over again, but it's not that easy to pull off. And even when you know how to do it, like managing to get that jump like consistently, it is very hard to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many fights between the design team and the art team happened?
All
I'm
of them.
curious.
All of the ones you can imagine, yes, all of that happened. But because yeah, it was like the design vision of the levels, and then we accidentally put a ledge there that let the players go faster and all that stuff. So it was like, why did you do that? But yeah, some were happy accidents, like we call it in the studio. There were homers. Like, oh my god,
Yes.
wait a minute, that looks cool.
Man.
But yeah, some are like, there is this exploit that happened on 1.2, the second level of World 1, which is they can skip the door. And that was like, wow, I didn't even imagine they could do that. But yeah, I've seen that exploit now a lot of times, that
It
they
is
just
crazy.
can. It is crazy. Yeah, just pass through the door with the slide and let's go. So, yeah.
I'm very curious about seeing this level because this one I saw from someone else in the studio a way of playing this level that was just like shocking. Like he just skipped everything and didn't care about the content.
Let's see how this goes.
Yeah, I can see the animation like Mario jump, right? Like she's
Exactly.
doing.
The Mario jump. That's the one. I never know how to actually activate it. Like,
Damn.
nice.
Goes. Yeah.
Yes,
Found
he's doing the skips.
Yeah. This is awesome.
Yeah, but it's really interesting because that's a different skip that the one we do. Because I mean, just goes to show there's a lot of different ways to break it, and I think this is actually a little bit faster. But yeah, I mean, it is awesome to see that even though we kind of planned the normal route of the level and then the broken route that we knew the level could be broken and there were some skips, and then the new ones being found. That's always encouraging.
It is. It's amazing. And also, like, I'm like super happy and grateful to learn that nikoheart, the speedrunner who's playing the actual game right now, he even got a tattoo of the game. I think it's our first official tattoo in someone's body. So
Yeah.
nice.
that's
Nice.
awesome. Did you see the photo? Did I share the photo with you?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
saw it.
on Twitter. Yes.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
Was
I
one
need
of
to
the
gain
decals.
mine.
Very cool.
Yeah.
It was one of the because
I want to say.
thinking.
Ah,
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
go ahead. I was going to say that Alexius wouldn't let me lie that this is our favorite boss.
Yay!
Not.
Not. No, to be honest, we really hate it. This one, I think we hate 5.5 the most, but this is a close second place. We really despise this boss. It was because it was the first boss we ever did. Um, and the first version was basically made out of crumbling sticks and duct tape.
Yeah.
It was a disaster. It was really buggy. Nothing worked properly. It was really easy to sequence break it and get soft locked. We had to redo this boss fight like 3 or 4 times. I don't even remember anymore. But yeah, I mean, even though the final boss fight, I think it is fun. I like the end result. For the life of me, I cannot see it in a good light. I just see this boss and remember all the pain that
Yes.
derived from it, and I cannot help myself but to hate it.
Yes, only to change a little value, like broke all the boss fights. Like it was nightmare.
It was a nightmare. I remember that. But I guess
But
the
yeah,
the, the worst nightmare. It's a boss that didn't even end at the final game, right? Like
yes,
that one.
yeah.
Don't even remind me about it because I'm going to go
It's an
find a
unborn
Duke's
child.
house and punch him in the face for it.
Man, that one was something else for sure.
And there
Wow.
it goes. World
Chapter
3.
3.
I mean, it's safe to say that World 3 was the first levels that were designed and set dress and everything, right?
Yes, the
World
first
3,
boss.
the
Yes.
first boss also.
I remember
Yeah.
there was a lot of iteration on the art direction as well on those levels. Like we
Yeah.
explored many different ways.
Yeah, we went from cyberpunk to something more of a museum, kind of like.
Oh, right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like
Yeah, it was like
Brutalist
very
Museum.
exactly with glasses and all that stuff, and then it ended up like it was in the game, like it is in the game, like this city. But yeah, it had a lot of iterations. All World
Totally.
3. Yeah.
I remember this entire chapter, the chapter 4, that it all happens in kind of like a sewers or like water processing facilities, and this was one the chapter that was causing like more like anxiety to the playtesters. Not even because of the level design, but about the set dressing and the theme of the levels. Like people felt they had like strong opinions about how they feel about moving around sewers and all that stuff. It was messy.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I think we all have water world trauma. Like all the
Exactly.
all the water levels can be a little bit difficult.
But I really like the mechanic in this world, like of the water, the water streams that put you and make force of the ball, and you have to make more speed and move in the other side to the other side to make it move bala faster. I think that's like a really good mechanic that we ended up doing.
Yeah, totally. This is
Oh,
he's this is challenging even for him. Like he's making some mistakes.
Yeah, but that's because he needs the billboard to not get locked out. It is
Ah,
way quicker. I don't know if he's going to go to the second level, but I'm guessing he's not. Because it's at the end of the day, it's slower to go to the second floor to paint the graffiti on top
Mm.
than to die, because he's playing on the normal mode where he's respawning on top of the platforms. Even if he dies, it is way easier to just die a couple of times and get the billboard, which is worth more graffiti than if he was to go all the way to the second floor,
of
and then
course.
he makes this crazy skip.
Wow,
that was a good keep.
that was
Mhm.
cool. Yeah.
Mhm.
I feel relieved that at least up until right now there's not one crazy skip breaking the game in a way that we didn't anticipate. Like I mean these are like skill based but not like the game is broken type of skip, right? Like I'm happy to see that.
I
We
just
make
wait until
sure.
we get to World 5. That's where the crazy stuff happens.
Oh boy.
Let's see.
Let's see. But
Yeah,
that's
because
really interesting. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
these levels are kind of very self-contained. There's not much, like, even if you can go out of bounds or go through walls and that stuff, there's nothing really much to help you like move forward, right, or reach the end. And even if you can, you end up skipping a lot of graffiti, which at the end of the day lock you out of the boss. So you have, even if you can, you have to actually do the route and paint some of the graffiti. But then when we get to to world 5, there are like the levels get way more open, right? And you can actually go out of bounds and go on top of the structures to skip major parts of the level while still managing to paint all of the graffiti billboards. So yeah, that's why the crazy stuff happens there. But here it's all very self-contained, and you actually need to go through the path to paint the graffitis, or you cannot access the boss.
Got it. This is the level you were mentioning, right, Alex? The one that the water is rising and you need to move really fast.
Yeah, that one. I mean, um, there were a lot of fixes also here in this level, like making the water not reset correctly. It wasn't correctly, and when you die and respawn in the previous checkpoint, the water was already up, and there were a lot of fixes in this level. But yeah, I think I remember that when concept art came out with the concept and the style of this world, like it was the sewers. I was like, I didn't think it was going to be really cool, but the final thing, it was really cool. I love this world. This world is really unique.
You had your doubts in the beginning.
Yeah, I mean the mechanic of the water streams were really fun, but I don't remember liking the at the beginning the concept. But yeah, at the end it plays well. It's really good.
That's a very good point, and I'm very also happy to say that even here in the studio, like there's a lot of diversity in like which are the favorite levels of each individual here in the team, um, which makes me very happy because that means that there's no one like weak level or weak part of the game, so it's kind of like balanced. So that's cool to hear.
Yeah, also what I like about the levels is that each level has like a different mechanic. Like this has these rotating platforms, and also the water goes lower levels, but yeah, it has like these gears and these rotating platforms. And yeah, basically each world and each level has like a different. Oh, look at that!
He's doing that.
He's doing that, yeah. I remember in the internal QA we were like, "Hey, we can do this," but I mean, I think it's part of the quick route.
Yeah, I remember that meeting. I remember that meeting. Alexis making the decision to leave it as it was and not uh, like preventing people from going actually from the top level and backtrack, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, that's fair play. I mean, if you have the hindsight of turning around after activating the switch, figuring out that you can actually go backtrack a little bit to skip a part of the level, then I mean that you get to skip it, right? It's
Yeah.
fair play, so we decided to keep it. At the end of the day, it's more tools that make it more fun and give a lot more variety to the gameplay kind of styles that you can choose to approach the level with.
Totally. So yeah, so in the first chapter he went for the optional level, the .exe level, just to raise the amount of graffiti that he needs for the entire run. But then in the following chapters, he's now already skipping some levels, right? Like I see he skipped here one, and in the previous one I think he skipped one or two. I don't know, like one I think. So
Yeah,
The
exactly.
.exe.
Oh, sorry.
Go.
No, I was just going to say that it's what I mentioned before. He was
Yeah.
doing like all of the graffitis, and because also 2.5 is a really really fast level, because it's basically a Mario Kart track. So you can do the graffitis very very quickly, and that allows you to skip some entire levels later on. So it's a good trade-off.
That's really nice.
The average time is like 3 minutes, right? I've been saying that.
For each level?
Yeah, like he's playing them in like 3 minutes average.
I think so. Ah, he's playing
Oh,
this
he's
one.
doing the.
Oh, is he doing the? No, he's not doing.
Oh, he's not in Steam.
Interesting.
Yes.
This is one of the more unique levels, I have to say. Uh, as you can see, the level is completely blacked out, and you have to start painting graffiti to discover the path forward. I'm very curious to see why he decided to play this level instead of others.
Yeah, he must have played a lot of time because he already knows where to go and where the
Yeah.
platforms are. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, he doesn't even need to wait for the paint to reveal.
And it was really fun how this level came to be because I remember we accidentally sent a build of one level without the lighting rig, and it was a completely dark level, and the testers were like, "Oh, it's really fun to be painting around and figuring out where the platforms are." And we were like, "Oh yeah, that was totally the intention behind it." And then we ended up making the level.
That is so
Yeah.
true. It was someone from the team, like from Gearbox's team, right? Like,
Yes.
and he sent this super amazing feedback, and we were like, of course, that was the intended plan.
Yeah, that was totally not a mistake. That was an experiment.
Right.
And internally we were scolding the art team. Why did you turn off the lighting
Yeah.
map?
But it came out really cool. I gotta say, this is one of my favorite levels to play. But yeah, it was like a happy accident.
This being our first game together as a team, I have to say the production was filled with many accidents, some happy and some not so happy. What do you think, Alex?
Yeah, I have to double down on that. I mean, we were knowing each other as a team. Some of us were already working on some projects. Some of us were our first game. So yeah, and we were working with each other for the first time. So yeah, making the pipeline and working together was a really interesting way of doing things. But yeah, I'm pretty happy about the end, the final product. I mean, we learned a lot in the process, all of us.
For sure. So this boss actually the boss that we were talking about before, the the infamous boss that didn't get to the final product was actually the boss of chapter 4, this one. And this fight was kind of like an emergency contingency plan because the other world, the other boss was just like, I don't know. What happened to that boss? Like, it was cursed.
Yeah, our team fault.
Yeah, actually, I really, I also hate this boss fight, but because of a very different reason, which is that one. It reminds me of what could have been, because there was two boss fights actually. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah.
The first one that was with the water streams, and the giant washing machine boss at the end. Uh, Man, I really love that concept. The water sprouts and the water balls that he will throw at you, and how instead of dealing damage, the water will push you back and out of the platforms. It was really really interesting in my opinion, and I really wish we could have make it work. And then the second one, which was the giant kind of whirlpool with the tentacle boss in the middle, which also unfortunately died. And then this was the boss for World 6,
Yes.
which also ended up dying. And we reused it as the kind of boss fight for World 4. And I mean, I gotta say, the art team made a really good job set dressing it to make it look like an organic part of World 4. But yeah, I really miss the other ones. It was very unfortunate what happened to them.
What happened, Ayuk? Like, what was? Did you end up finding what broke the levels?
It was like a very mysterious thing because this boss was like in different levels. Like you started on the top and then going down, like in the water streams of the past level. But yeah, like the platforms were going all the way. Sometimes you got killed even though nothing was touching you. So yeah, we had a lot of technical issues on that level. Yeah, I remember it was really cool. Also the enemy, well, the boss design, which is like the washing machine. But yeah, like the technical issues were just surpassing us, and also we had like this time gate, and yeah, we needed to make decisions around that. But well, we will work around it. We will work around it. We'll find time.
Someday.
Someday, maybe make it a DLC or something like that. I don't know.
But I have to say, like the final outcome of this boss fight, I'm very happy with it, and it's very challenging. Like honestly, like it's one of the toughest parts of the game, and it actually puts a lot of pressure on the player. And just as a hint, I don't want to spoil it, but there's an achievement related to that boss fight, and I hope you find it. A secret.
Yeah, I had to take revenge for my massacred boys.
So now we're moving to chapter 5. So here is where Alexis was mentioning that this chapter is where the levels actually become like way more open. And yeah, I'm very eager to see how nikoheart breaks the game in this one.
This one
Oh
is
my
one of
God.
my favorite ones levels because of the fog mechanic.
Yeah. On my end, it's my favorite track. My favorite music BGM of the entire game is this one. But that fog was also very troublesome. Especially in terms
Yes.
of performance, right?
Yes, it was challenging. Actually, Old World 5 was very challenging. I remember like starting the planning of the production, we were thinking, yeah, we're going to make some virtual levels, which going to be like cheap for the art team and blah blah blah, like taking some times, and it actually the virtual worlds became one of the more challenging ones to set dress. And part of that was technical issues, also like this fog. When you played it in lower settings, like the fog actually disappeared and basically broke the level because of this principal mechanic of the fog, just blocking all the critical path. But yeah, the VFX team came up with a really cool solution that it looks cool. It looks cool in lower resolutions and it works. But yeah, these virtual levels were really, really challenging in the art side.
Órale.
Oh. Also, what I really love about this game is the blind platforming, and then you can use the coins to pass the level.
Yeah.
I think that's really, really cool. I really like that.
I never can do that. I mean, it's one of my favorite levels, but even though I can see the coins, I always fall. I I don't get to the platform.
You are jumping scared. You need to remove your fear.
Yes.
He just skipped like a huge part of the level by that jump. Like it's really cool.
Oh, circular mechanic. Nice.
Yeah.
This one is good.
This is I gotta say one of my least favorite levels, probably.
Really?
Yes, I but also because I remember the original mechanic that we had for this level, which was the terminal switch. That was like a very long wire that you had to paint over it,
Ah, right.
and then it didn't turn out so well, and we had to change it. Oh well, rather that it's not that I don't like this level, is that I miss the other mechanic. I think it was really cool and interesting. Unfortunately, yeah, it was very hard to make it work right.
Totally. We didn't like at the beginning on paper, like there were so many cool ideas and mechanics that we thought we were gonna nail down, but the reality is that it's so time consuming to actually make a mechanic feel right that we just needed to throw away many things. It is what it is.
Yeah, I gotta say that what I like about this level is that the actual like the main path to get the level to completion is very quick. I mean, as he just did, he basically hasn't skipped any major parts of the level and is already at the end.
Yeah.
But this level has a huge kind of secondary optional hidden path with a lot of resources and graffiti, and I really like how those kind of levels turned out. Like 2.3, this one is another example.
Yeah, you can exactly. This one you can spend like 10-20 minutes if you want exploring it, or like 2 like this one right now. That's really cool. I guess he's gonna skip 5.1, right? Like yeah, entirely. Yeah.
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 Just
Oh, there you go. He's going straight to the boss fight.
And this is also the nightmare boss.
Yeah,
of-
this still haunts my nightmares.
Yeah.
Why is that?
the last boss build.
Running against
yeah.
the clock of
Yeah.
production.
Yeah.
We
I
had to
mean,
basically remade it, right, Alex?
yeah, from scratch.
Yes.
I mean, it was the difficulty also turned down the difficulty because there were all these mechanics at the same, but yeah, some of them were not working correctly, were not resetting right, and yeah, we were like, no, let's do it from scratch. And even so, the way it was made at the end, I don't like it. I mean, I come back to the code and I'm like, now what I was thinking.
Yeah. What I really
also-
like about this one is the name of the character. That I love.
It started as an internal joke, and it came out in the final product. So yeah, it is cool. Also, talking about the art in this level, like the boss had a different design. It was like a shapeshifter,
Ah,
Oh,
yes.
right.
shapeshifter machine thing. And yeah, we had a prototype. We could play the level. It was set dress and all that stuff. But yeah, it was like a nightmare to control.
Totally. I totally forgot about that. It was this kind of like abstract shapeshifter, yeah.
I like that idea. I mean, when we first implemented it, it was really cool, but I think I guess the time was not on our favor, so we changed ideas. and implementation.
It is what it is. But this character, I really like it. It's one of my favorite characters. I think it's it's kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah, and he's always carrying Buff around
Exactly.
like a baby.
Exactly. So this part is really challenging, at least for me.
And I gotta tell you, it was really challenging syncing the freaking lasers and everything together. Alex won't let me lie.
Yeah. Damn.
I remember a lot of issues, like some lasers were kind of like teleporting to weird locations, and yeah, I remember seeing those types of issues.
You thought you were safe, like, yeah, I jumped this one, and then the other one just was right in front of you because it teleported. Oh, damn.
Exactly.
And then the invisible lasers, like the VFX will turn off, but the collider will still be turning around. So inadvertently you will suddenly find it and take damage, and it was really confusing.
Orale. But even with all those challenges, I have to say that very good job in scripting these boss fights, because you cannot skip them. You need to face the challenges, and he is doing it in a very efficient way, but not breaking it or anything. So that's very cool to see.
Yes, that's the thing with bosses. I remember that there were some skips, well, not skips, but ways to totally avoid damage in like the boss for level 3 and the boss for level 2. And those were like, we were fine with leaving skips and that sort of things in other levels for the players to use. But in bosses, we really did our best to kind of nitpick all of those details out to make sure that there wasn't a way for players to kind of keep all the damage or standing in blind spots. And I mean, from what I see, I guess we managed it, at least to an extent.
Totally. So, and then after finishing chapter 5, an optional chapter gets unlocked as well. The chapter 6. No. I'm so sorry.
that
In the
died.
past.
That died, of course, yeah.
Yeah, that's why I was saying that the kind of the battle arena that is the boss fight for World 4 was going to be the boss fight for World 5. For World 6, I mean, because it was the optional world. But at the end of the day, we had to kill it. And we really used that boss for World 4.
That is
But yeah,
totally
at the end of World 5, Chapter 5, you can go back to some chapters, and there are yet another levels in those worlds. That's what happens. I have.
Exactly. There are some new levels that get unlocked in all the other previous chapters, and players can go back and play them. They are kind of similar in terms of like the art direction and setting of each chapter, but they have like new challenges, and they are actually quite cool. But I guess, yeah, for speedrunning, not interested right now.
Well, it's for any percent speedruns, right? When it'll be very interesting when 100% runs start coming out.
Yeah.
Those will be really, really interesting.
True that.
We're in Chapter 6. Damn.
Already. What?
It's still chapter 7 in my heart.
It is.
I was already going to say Chapter 7, but I correct.
Actually, all
Chapter
levels
6.
are named 7, right? This is 7.2, if I remember correct.
Internally, yes.
Yeah. Except the first one, because the first one was actually part of chapter 3 or 4?
Yeah, it was
4.
4.4.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
This level I really... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say those Tohu enemies, like the one that shoot the bullet hell thing, they're really annoying. especially in this level.
I love them. I love the bullet hell section.
I mean, it's cool, but it's annoying.
Yeah, specifically in the last section, like, well, when he gets over there, you can see it, but yeah, the last section of this level with all the Toho enemies is like, oh my god. Design team were angry when they designed this.
Totally.
Yeah, especially because
that-
the way they've implemented it, it was a pain in the ass to set them up and to link them together to work in tandem.
That was a revenge then.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Design fighting against art, against dev, against everyone.
Yes.
They've also fighting against art. I can say that too.
Design fighting against design. Yeah. This level, he's not skipping any part. Like, I mean, he's just avoiding secondary objectives, but
What?
whoa,
Oh,
how?
I didn't know that. Look,
He's got skills.
Wow.
he knows the combos.
Yeah, he just broke my statement of the last Toho enemies.
He made it look so easy. Interesting.
Wow. Now I'm gonna play it like that.
How dare you? I want to see that. You should record it.
Damn. And actually, this level has one of my favorite tracks.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Especially the last part.
Yes.
Oh,
I think we have to mention that the score, the soundtrack of the game is really cool. I mean, the first songs that were made for the first levels, the 3.1 and 3.2, were really good. But when you hear all the songs from all the levels, like, man, please did a good job.
yeah, Luis. He's really, really talented. I think so. From the very beginning, in terms of the audio, I think that the main objective was to try to create a game that has music that sounds not so gamey and a little bit more kind of like real life music. So that was the objective that Luis wanted to portray, and I think he did an amazing job at that. And maybe there are some people out there that like they don't consume a lot of electronic music, but maybe by playing this game they can get to know this ecosystem and this scene. Especially the independent electronic music scene is very exciting. So yeah, I hope people can discover some music artists through our game as well. That's really cool. Wow. And that's it.
Easy peasy.
What?
This level has
Okay.
also a lot of exploration and secondary paths.
Yeah, this is one of those that can be completed really, really quickly, just like he did. But this is actually the level that has more billboards in all of the game.
Yeah.
Final boss.
Here we go.
Let's see. This one is tough. Everyone needs to agree that this boss fight not easy.
And I had to lower the difficulty like 5 times.
Yeah.
It was impossible in the beginning, like honestly, like only you could finish it.
Yeah, man. When we were testing them, it and like fixing bugs and trying to get from stage to stage and making sure that when you finish the first stage, it will take you to the second stage and no any other attack was turned on and that kind of stuff. And man, I had to turn on the God mode because I couldn't make it through the stages. at the first time.
Exactly.
Yeah, I remember testing it like I was thinking I need to play it organically just to see how everything works, if nothing is broken, and I finished turning the God mode because yeah, it was really difficult.
It was. And also it was
Yes.
really long. I remember the first iterations. That made it even like more difficult because you were not able to make mistakes for like 10 minutes or something like that, and it was very, very hard.
Yeah, the first version was like 15 minutes long, and it was
Yeah.
heavily scripted, so there was no way to make it faster.
You need to redo it.
Yes, and a lot ended up changing. Like I remember the Rubik cube element of the boss fight had to go completely.
Ah, you're right. It only remains when changing the stage, right?
Yeah, just the whole arena rotates,
Mm-hmm.
but I think the way the individual rows constantly shift, we had to get rid of that.
Yeah. He's going straight for these like pillars and just forgetting about all the enemies and everything.
Yeah, but I
This-
mean, even to I remember the team still saying that this boss is really hard. I'm going to show them this video. He's doing it. He's flying by it without any troubles.
Let's see how it goes stage 3, because stage 3 is the really toughest one.
These ones, like these like lava pillars are so annoying.
Yeah, you forget the lava pillars. They leave a trace
Yeah.
that can kill you. Damn. But also, yeah, like having these pylons that if you attack them first, like all the enemies disappear.
Yes.
Like not a lot of people catch that, but that is the technique. That is the
It
way.
is.
Mhm.
Also, I love Bob's animations for each attack.
Oh,
It
yeah.
looks really funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, we kind of go like crazy on it. Like, yeah, just make him do some goofy stuff, silly
Jutsu.
stuff. Exactly. The jutsu lasers and shooting energy balls out of his mouth. Like, yeah, we were just having fun and we were watching the animations and just laughing about it. And yeah, it was fun to animate the buff boss fight.
Yeah. Wow. It's flawless. Like not even one mistake in this section. Like it's crazy.
Easy peasy.
But definitely we need to show this to some people in the studio and they need to get good.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm already watching it, so I will get good.
Yes, yes, please study it. And there will be a test in a couple of weeks internally. I think this is the almost the last section.
Yeah, this is the last stage.
Yes. And the last combination of attacks, right? I think.
I think it's missing one. Yes, this is the last one.
Ah, this is the one. Yeah. You're right.
Yes, because we also ended up taking away much of the randomness.
Mm-hmm.
Because I remember that we had a lot of attack combinations, and then the boss will pick randomly, so there was absolutely no way for you to know which attacks were coming. And we also ended up getting rid of that to at least allow the player to identify which attacks were coming after which.
Yeah.
And make it a little bit more manageable.
Damn!
Damn! And that's 3 years of our lives.